The world had changed. What was once familiar now felt alien, twisted by an unseen hand. The air crackled with an unknown energy, a palpable tension that clung to everything. Chapter 6 of Unbreakable plunges us headfirst into this transformed reality, a world where the line between ordinary and extraordinary is blurred, leaving humanity to grapple with the terrifying and the unknown. Gone was the comfort of routine, replaced by an undercurrent of fear and uncertainty. The rules of life as everyone knew it had been rewritten, and survival now hinged on strength, both physical and emotional. Unbreakable is a story of resilience, of the human spirit's ability to adapt and overcome, even in the face of unimaginable challenges.
My body, it feels like it's been through a war.
Dohyuk stirred, his body a tapestry of aches and pains. Each breath was a struggle, a testament to the ordeal he had endured. As he opened his eyes, the world swam into focus, blurry and distorted. Memories flickered through his mind, fragmented and confusing, leaving him with a sense of disorientation and unease.
Where am I?
He was alive, but that realization brought little comfort. The familiar surroundings of his apartment were gone, replaced by the cold, unforgiving concrete of an abandoned warehouse. The air was thick with the scent of dust and decay, a far cry from the comforting aromas of home.
I need to sit up. Whoa, dizzy?
As Dohyuk pushed himself to a sitting position, a surge of dizziness washed over him. He braced himself against the cold floor, his senses overwhelmed. Something was different. Something had changed within him. His body felt charged, brimming with an unfamiliar energy that both intrigued and frightened him.
What is this? My hands, they feel so powerful.
His gaze fell upon his hands, calloused and scarred from years of hard work. Now they seemed different, imbued with a newfound strength that he could feel pulsing beneath his skin. He flexed his fingers, marveling at the raw power that seemed to course through his veins. The realization dawned on him. His stats, a concept he had once dismissed as a gamer's fantasy, had increased. He was stronger, faster, more resilient than he had ever been. But why, and at what cost? The heavy clang of metal against concrete shattered the silence, drawing Dohyuk's attention.
What was that?
He turned towards the sound, his senses on high alert. Through the grimy windows of the warehouse, he caught a glimpse of figures moving in the distance. Their movements were fluid, predatory, radiating an aura of menace that sent chills down his spine.
Who are they? They don't look like ordinary thugs.
These were no ordinary thugs or criminals. Whispers of angels and elite mobs, once the stuff of urban legends, now echoed in his mind. The world had changed, and these beings, with their aura of power and menace, were a terrifying manifestation of that change. The warehouse door creaked open, flooding the space with light. Dohyuk held his breath, his heart pounding in his chest. A figure stepped inside, tall and imposing, his features obscured by the blinding light. As his eyes adjusted, Dohyuk's breath caught in his throat. The being before him was unlike anything he had ever seen. Its skin glowed with an ethereal light, and its eyes burned with an intensity that seemed to pierce his very soul. Huge feathered wings, impossibly white, extended from its back, filling the space with an otherworldly presence. This was no mere man. This was an angel, a being of immense power and unknown intentions. The angel's gaze swept over Dohyuk, lingering for a moment before moving on. It spoke, its voice a low, resonant hum that seemed to vibrate deep within Dohyuk's bones.
Chaos, a world thrown into turmoil, trials, challenges that will test the very limits of human endurance.
And then it uttered a name that sent a shiver down Dohyuk's spine. Chichek.
Chichek.
The Butcher, a name whispered in hushed tones, a legend spoken of with a mixture of fear and awe. Chichek, the harbinger of death, the embodiment of chaos. He was a force of nature, unstoppable, unrelenting, and he was coming. The news of Chichek's approach spread like wildfire, igniting a blaze of fear and despair among the survivors. The weight of their situation pressed down on them, threatening to crush their spirits. But even in the face of such overwhelming adversity, the human spirit refused to be extinguished.
We can't give up now. We have to stay strong for each other.
Acts of courage, both big and small, flickered to life in the darkness. Ordinary people thrust into extraordinary circumstances found strength within themselves they never knew they possessed. They banded together, offering each other support, comfort, and a glimmer of hope in a world that seemed determined to snuff it out. Dohyuk felt the weight of responsibility settle upon his shoulders. He was stronger now, changed. He didn't fully understand the extent of his powers, but one thing was clear: he couldn't stand idly by while others suffered. He would fight.
For myself, for the memory of the life I once knew, and for the glimmer of hope that still flickers in the hearts of those around me.
The world had changed, and so had he. He was no longer the same man who had woken up in that abandoned warehouse. He was stronger, tempered by adversity, his will forged in the fires of fear and uncertainty. He was ready to face the challenges ahead, to confront the darkness that threatened to consume them all. This was his fight, and he would face it head on.